Welcome to Take Back Your Health. Your hosts are Dr. Sunil Pai and Maureen Sutton, who will explain the shocking truths about healthcare, prescription drugs, food and supplement industries. They will help guide you to take back your power and feel great again. Now, here's Dr. Sunil Pai and Maureen Sutton.
Welcome, everybody. Today is a great day. We have a wonderful, excellent panel today. We're going to talk about, recently last year, we went to Costa Rica. We had a food as medicine retreat with a wonderful group of about 60 patients that had cancer. And this week, we had a food as medicine reunion in Cleveland Rocks. If hopefully those people can watch this at home, you can see this wonderful t-shirt that Krim made me and Maureen and everybody else here. We have a group of people today. Today's going to be an inspiring show because we're going to talk about a different topic that we usually talk about in our shows, but it's in our book, and later on you'll hear about certain programs that this is the important part is healing. Cancer healing takes a village, and you need to have community support. And that's not usually as much discussed or emphasized as it must be. But today we have a wonderful guest to start off our show, which is Chris Wark. Chris, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, Sunil.
How you doing?
What's up, my man? It's been a long time.
I appreciate you coming out. It was great. Everybody, for those of you who don't know Chris Wark will tell his story. He will be on our show next week, and he's going to give his whole detail about his journey and his program that you can get at home. And also, we'll be talking about some innovative programs that certain people might be able to join, and we can actually improve outcomes of those people who have cancer. So tell us about a little bit about how your journey was in terms of it takes a village. Did you have community support? Did you have family support? And how important was it for you in your healing? It's been, 13 or 14 years now, right?
It's been 14 years. I was diagnosed in December 2003, and support is so critical to healing. It's so critical to your mental and emotional state, especially. And in 2003, January 2004, I made a decision to walk away from conventional treatment. And what I didn't realize when I made that decision was that I was about to lose most of my support. And people who love me, unfortunately, did not understand why I didn't want to do chemotherapy, why after surgery I wanted to adopt a whole food, plant-based diet, go hardcore nutrition, change my whole life. And they just didn't get it, right? They thought I was losing my mind. Oncologists told me I was insane. And things fell apart for me right after I made that decision. So that was really tough. It was really tough. I mean, I can laugh about it now, but, I had friends and family members, mostly family members, calling and telling me, you've got to do what the doctor says. Don't you think if there's something better besides chemo, they would know about it? And, I know somebody who did alternative therapies and they died. Mm-hmm. And so I'm all of a sudden I'm getting all this fear and anxiety and from people around me who thought they were trying to be helpful.
Sure.
But all they were doing really was making me more confused and fearful when I had a clear vision of what I needed to do to change my life. I knew instinctively that the way I was living was killing me, and I knew I needed to change my whole life. It just made sense to me, and I was actually excited about the prospect of radically changing my diet and my lifestyle to help my body heal.
And I think that's key because many people actually don't get that insight. So what I really appreciate about you is it was this epiphany. And some people just don't get it. They're like, okay, well, I need to get treatment, whether conventional, alternative, integrative, but they don't look like before I do anything or before what's the foundation of my healing is me making changes to my diet and lifestyle and my spiritual self, like learning that I can actually support this innate ability to heal.
Right, especially at a time when your mind is full of fear anyway, and you're trying to see your way through the darkness to have everyone disappear. That is hard.
Yeah, it's super hard. And so in the very beginning, I was very, very much alone. But I had the benefit of being an only child and sort of being comfortable with being alone. And so I made these decisions to change my life. And had difficult conversations with people around me. And I just had to say, listen, I don't want you to think I'm confused or in denial. I'm making these decisions in order to live, because I believe these decisions I'm making will give me the best chance of survival. And so that helped people kind of back off a little. And I always encourage people, cancer patients, if you're getting a lot of pressure from people around you, you may need to have these difficult conversations and say, hey, listen, I just need you to trust that I'm doing the best for me. And this is what I want to do with my life. And I'm going to live and die on my terms, whatever that is. And, so please stop sending me, articles about alternative therapies, are horrible or whatever. Right. So that was the first part of my journey. And then, but the wonderful thing is, like, when you step outside the box, to use a cliche, when you step out into the unknown, miracles happen. And I was, I have very strong faith, and I was trusting God to lead me in the process. And I was asking for help, and I was praying a lot. And people started to come into my life that were incredible supports to me. And so one day I feel like I lost all my support, but within just a few weeks, I got new support, right? I found people that I built a small team around me of people that supported me. And so support is just so powerful, and it's so key. And without it, you're really subject to the whims of emotion and irrational thinking and pressure from doctors for you to do things that you probably don't want to do. And so build your support team. Now, there's a wonderful resource called Healing Strong, and Healing Strong has facilitated a holistic cancer support group model that has been reproduced in cities across the US and even in other countries. And so these Healing Strong groups are popping up all over the place. You can find out if there's one near you at healingstrong.org. You can also start your own group. So if there isn't a group in your city, you can actually start your own group. They'll send you a leader's kit, and it's okay if you have cancer. You don't have to be cancer-free. You don't have to be an expert or anything, right? You just have to be willing to host a group.
Yeah, and I think that the thing is key, because a lot of people, they might live in a rural area. They might not be like, hey, I'm new to this whole journey into healing, and so I appreciate the idea that anybody actually can start a support group, and it all takes with one. And just like you, and now there's millions of people that follow and have been inspired by your story. But everybody can be a you. Everybody can be someone who not only has their own improved outcome, but can be inspiration to the community and neighbors and people at church and people in their neighbors even. So I appreciate that.
Is that organization available for other people besides just cancer patients?
Well, it really is geared towards cancer patients. I imagine there might be some people that are into prevention that come to the meetings and enjoy it and get benefit from it for sure. But the real value is, it's so different. It's such a different atmosphere than a typical cancer support group, right? Because a typical cancer patient support group is a bunch of people who are doing conventional treatment, and they're suffering, and they're sort of just sharing. I mean, they're supporting each other, but it's more of supporting each other through suffering.
Right.
And there isn't a whole lot of hope you'll find in those support groups. And you'll also find a lot of people who are not receptive at all to any suggestion that their diet or lifestyle could have any impact on their health. Wow. And so what you'll find is, whether it's an online group like that or it's an in-person group, you'll find that most folks in those groups are completely closed off to the idea that you can change your life and your health, and you can heal cancer, and you can prevent a recurrence, and you can improve your odds of survival based on the choices you make every day. And so the difference is, Healing Strong groups are full of people that understand. They understand you, right? These are all people who either they're on the beginning of their journey, or they've already been through their journey, or they're halfway, right? But they're all of the same mindset that really is based in personal responsibility, right? It's people who've said, you know what, this might be my fault, right? And I'm going to, whether it's my fault or it isn't, I'm going to do everything I can do to change my life and help my body get well, right? This is the core of self-help, right? And so the Healing Strong is a wonderful venue, and gives you the tools and the resources to start a group. Or if there's a group in your city, you could go hop in. You can also start a group that's not Healing Strong. It's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be Healing Strong, but they've got a great model, and it's already built out, and they can just help you facilitate meetings and do that kind of stuff if you want to do it. But having people who understand you, right, and accept you, will give you ideas and resources and encouragement is so powerful. I just cannot overstate it enough. And no man is an island. We need each other. Like you said, Sunil, it takes a village, right? And cancer healing takes a village. And I'm super thankful for the people I had in my life that supported me during that time. And, when somebody's up, other people are down, and we can lift each other up.
And one thing that we have now that you didn't have back then was social media and internet, really. And so it's really impressive how you just, were able to create that community. And now, with groups and organizations like this, and House of Sanjevani, our clinic, there's wonderful things like the Vita Protocol. There's a lot of other associations, groups out there, support groups. Just find one, even follow the people on this message board, and you'll be able to find sometimes local groups in the people where they live, and they can find local support there. And just find, again, it doesn't have to be an official organization. Sometimes it's just like going to lunch, going to dinner. What are you doing? Learning about that, not being judged frictionless. We talked about support, right? And so I like this concept. And so I really appreciate you coming and spending the time today, Chris. Next week, everybody, Chris Warwick will be here for the full hour. We're going to talk about the whole journey, his story. We're going to talk about his Square One program. We're going to talk about other programs that we're going to talk about launching, and really insightful, exciting new ways that we can help evidence-based wise using natural therapies on helping people heal from their cancer. So any last words to say before you leave today, Chris?
Man, thanks for letting me jump in on this. It's just always great to be able to share what I've learned and try to help and encourage and inspire anybody on this journey. And again, just want to encourage everybody. You're about to hear from a bunch of wonderful people on this call, and just want to encourage you again. If you feel like you don't have support, it's out there, right? You got to make a little effort to find it, but it is out there, and I promise you, it's so much easier now than it was for me in 2004. Like you said, there was no social media in 2004, so I had no way of connecting with other cancer patients, on the internet. And I mean, maybe there might have been some chat groups or something, but I wasn't in them.
All right.
And so, I often joke, there's never been a better time to get cancer.
Right. Well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate you spending the time for us today. We'll talk to you next week. Everybody, please join us who are listening. We have great more inspiring stories from all these cancer thrivers. We'll be back after the short messages from our sponsors.
Thank you for paving the way, Chris.
Thank you.
Best of health. All right.
All right. You're clear.
Thank you. Blessings. All right, everybody. We're here on Facebook Live. We have a bunch of people here. Thanks to Chris Warwick. He was able to join us today. We had a wonderful weekend here in Cleveland, Ohio. We actually spent a couple of days here at this beautiful facility. It's this house. It's like designed like a boat by Krim and Nick, who will be on this call shortly. And we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was great for me because I'm a big, the rock doc. So it was just, I could have just stayed there for 5 days. They could have just left me there. But it was good to stay in the house here with everybody. A lot of love, a lot of sharing, a lot of community. And that's what we are here for, is we want you to all have some support and education and empowerment.
And people who speak the same language as you do.
All right, so we're going to be joined here. So anybody want to give a little shout out before we start? We have Theo, we have and Susie, and we have a bunch of people coming in.
Denise, Susie,
and Denise here.
And then later on we'll have both Hilda and Lovey as well.
Wonderful. So everybody, we also want you to go, if you're listening here, we do have sponsors. Go to purebetaglucan.com. That's
Dr. Pi, you're coming through kind of scratchy now.
Okay, can you hear me now? Is that better?
Lost your volume pretty bad.
Is that pretty good now? Can you hear me?
If you can, a little bit more.
Can you hear me now? Testing. Is that better?
A little bit. You're still super soft. Your guests are coming through loud and clear.
All right. Maybe I'll talk a little bit louder. Okay. Is that better?
Check your cords. It sounds like you got a loose connection or something. It's getting staticky.
I'm connected.
I hear you on the Zoom. Okay.
Okay. Well, I think they're patching in. So hopefully that's good. Otherwise, I can make it a little bit bigger here. Is that better? All right. So, anyways, go to purebeta-glucan.com to get your best and most efficacious beta glucan available. It's the same that also Chris talks about with the beta glucan from Better Way Health. So we share the same source and supplier. Also, take a look at Bosmeric and learn about plant-based diets. Go back and listen to all the archives here. It's all on demand. It's free on iTunes, on Android, and your iPhones. You can download them and learn and share. Share this. Go to sanjevani.net, sanjevani.net. Sign up for our newsletter. We get wonderful information on some links and events and discounts coming.
Are we on Facebook Live now?
We are on Facebook Live, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So everybody say, hey, I'm not talking to myself.
Hey.
There's Susie and Denise and Theo. So, hey, you guys want to say anything, please go ahead. Say some things, I don't want to be taking up all the airspace here.
Yeah, I think, one of the most wonderful things about finding our CAM family.
All right, here we go. Coming back.
Okay.
You can start off with that.
You are tuned in to Take Back Your Health. To reach our program today, call 1-866-472-5792. That's 1-866-472-5792. Or by email to radio@sanjevani.net. That's radio@sanjevani.net. Now, let's return to Take Back Your Health.
Welcome back, everybody. We just got off a little brief discussion with our wonderful and close friend, Chris Wark, who was here with us at the FAM reunion from the Food is Medicine reunion. We now have the Community as Medicine discussion today. Cancer Healing, It Takes a Village. And we're here today with two more people who will be joining us as Kim and also Susie on the call. And Maureen, you were talking about something before we started here.
Yeah, I think one of the greatest things about us all getting together in Costa Rica for the Food is Medicine retreat was that we formed this wonderful bond, and we were able to speak to one another because we kind of speak a different language that other people sometimes don't want to talk about cancer. They don't want to talk. They don't even want to hear about it. And so it was really a good release for all of us to be able to speak the same language and be able to talk about things that other people don't want to hear about. And I think that just caused more bonding together. And then, this week, of course, has brought us even closer. So
yeah, it's an amazing. I feel I'm actually guilty because I feel like there's so much love in this room, so much information and empowerment that I wish all the listeners here listening around the world can participate in eventually and find a group. Let's start off with Kim, because we've talked about your story indirectly with Theo, your husband, many times on the show, but now people get to see you. Yeah, can you explain this briefly? And we'll have you in a show later on talking about your whole journey, because it is a story and a journey into itself. But how did healing and it takes a village theme come to be an important role for your journey?
Thanks. Yes, it's great to be on here. I usually get to watch Theo and you guys from afar, so it's kind of nice. I kind of like to be in the background, so it's always nerve-wracking when I first get up to talk. But in 2014, when I was diagnosed, probably very similar to other people's story, when I knew that I wanted to clean up my diet and possibly just boost my immune system, not sure what I was going to do, but I started looking at like an integrative or an alternative approach. Literally, it was a desert. I couldn't find people. I had my husband. Fortunately, he was supportive and right there with me, but I felt like my friends and family disappeared. And even though they wanted to be supportive, I think they just didn't know how to, because it wasn't what they were used to. And so it was so important when I finally started to get better and feel like that I could reach out to other people. Theo and I both decided that we wanted to build a community. We didn't want that to happen to other people. We knew that they needed support, and we knew that I just wanted to get face to face with somebody. Even one person who had my particular cancer or a cancer, I wanted to get face to face and somebody I could call and say, hey, I'm feeling this way today. Did you experience that? Or are you experiencing that? And so I think a year ago when we met with, even before that with you, Sunil, Dr. Pai and Maureen, and even Chris, we all talked about trying to do something so people could get, face to face with you guys and Chris and us. And it was beautiful, the outcome that came of that, and continues on and continues to grow.
So I appreciate you sharing that, because I think a lot of times, we've gone to cancer events, cancer conferences, watched things, but there's a lot of confusion, misdirection sometimes. We're evidence-based, and then we really want people like, what is the truth? Now, where do I go from here? I have an interest. I want to try something. I want to start to heal. And so the community and giving the correct answers, I think all of us working together is trying to find avenues of support that actually have legitimate, scientific data to show improvements. And also, we are all here as testimonials itself that we can do this as a community. Susie, so Susie's on the line here. Tell us a little bit about how healing and it's taking a village helped you, or that concept helped you, or did you have it or did you not have it when you were first diagnosed?
Sure. Yeah. So I was diagnosed in January 2014, and with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, follicular lymphoma, and the bittersweet, I guess, was that I was put on watch and wait. I didn't have this pressure to do treatment right away, but that was because the bitter part was that it was considered incurable, slow growing, but incurable. So immediately, I tried to find information on, okay, what do I have control of? And that was diet, lifestyle, mindset. And, Chris was one of the first things out there that I found. And, but it was very difficult to find other people that were doing anything like this. When I go to an appointment, it was sick people in the hospital getting treatment, and not people that were sort of similar to what I was trying to do with changing. And so, yeah, similar to what Kim said, it's really been years of me kind of doing this on my own, other than my husband helping me with this diet, but me trying to figure out like the mindset and the lifestyle. How do I make this work as a mom of 3 children, a working mom of 3 kids? So, but when I went to Costa Rica last year and met you all and met all the other people, and really, it's amazing to be able to connect and understand the positive, inspiring stories. Like, okay, this is not just Chris Carr out there who's like an amazing superstar, right? We all want to be Chris Carr, but we're not. And so who are the regular people like me that can do this, and that actually succeeded in not progressing or healing, and so and not only that, but how do people deal with the day-to-day, right? Like, you go on a Thanksgiving, what are you doing? Are you hosting, and are people bringing meat, and then how do you deal with that, like, without getting stressed out about it? Like, what are your tactics? So, and then even just small things like, what supplements are you taking? How are you monitoring? All these little things are things that nobody else that and unless you're going through this, you really can't have that kind of dialogue. And the other thing I would say is that talking to other people, you can be really honest, and it's not a pity party, right? Like you people that mean well, they're kind of like, how's it going? And it's a pity party. And
they don't really want to know how is it going.
They don't really want to know. They're like waiting for the shoe to drop, and that's not what's happening. And they kind of think I'm crazy. So for what I'm doing, and I don't need that in my life. So it's been really great to connect with you all.
And I think the key, having the community, the village, is having the village of support in the right direction. So sometimes, again, people just feel uncomfortable. They don't know what to do. Cancer is this very scary thing for you or a family member, anybody has it. But what we have to evoke is every woman is a Wonder Woman and every man's a Superman. How do we evoke that healing within us? And that's really just finding your tribe. And sometimes it's stepping outside of your tribe that you used to be with. And sometimes, we've had friends for decades, and now it's like, well, I just can't be in the same path as they are, because I want to be healthy as much as possible and do as much as I can. So sometimes it's a new journey of learning, meeting new people.
That's
and
right.
Remaining positive and moving straight ahead without all the chatter and noise behind you. You just need to go forward in a positive direction. So.
And one thing for all the listeners is that all these people that went down to the Food is Medicine were all, like Chris was mentioning and everybody else will mention, which is evidence-based, which is the best diet out there, evidence-based wise. It's still looking at eating a whole food plant-based diet. Okay, we have to reduce stress. We have to improve our spiritual beliefs and our own epigenetics of that, developing the community. We also like to support our immune system. So again, we all recommend Glucan 300. Go to purebetaglucan.com to get some of yours today. Bosmeric for the anti-inflammatories, and then eating, again, microbiome foods that are feeding your gut and feeding your immune system. So those are simple things that, we look at all the relationship of all of us. We're doing some basic things. They're all similar, but we all have different stressors. We all live in different parts of the United States. Some of us are even outside the country, but that support is still there by social media, by phone calls, by texting. And I think that's super, super key. Kim, do you have anything to say on this topic here about, I know, because you've been in the background. I want you to make sure that I give you some lead time here.
Kim or Denise? Which one?
Kim. Denise is next after this next.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But just what I echo that, definitely the community, getting face to face with somebody. And, like Chris was saying earlier, the internet is available, and you can, if you dig hard enough, you can find it. It's probably going to be, posted. The Facebook Live is going to be posted through different people's channels. If you happen to be watching it and you don't have support, just put, I need help, and somebody's going to see it. And there's plenty of people that you can reach out to and that will be there for you. And I think that was the main thing for us, is not having that and now having that available. And it's just going to continue to snowball and grow. And more people will be able to get in touch with each other,
Yeah, I think you guys are in San Diego. We're in Albuquerque. I know Susie and all are like in New Yorkish area. Krim and Nick here in Cleveland. A variety of places around the United States. Phenomenal support. Just, type in your name at the bottom, make some comments. Someone will get in touch with you, or just say, I need some help. I'm in the city. Can you point me in the right direction? Also, you can go to thevitaprotocol.com and learn about juicing protocols and also how to develop. It's free online, download freeware of understanding where you can start off with kind of a journey to eating healthier. And then obviously there's programs that we can help people even further. So any last minute comments you want to say?
We always talk about food is medicine, but community is medicine as well. And that's what this is all about, sharing that energy together. That energy is just so full of love. And that's what touches every single cell in your body.
That's right. And free of dissonance and friction, right? That's what we need.
Right. I think, just having the support of, we all have good days, we all have bad days, and some tests go up, some tests go down, and overall we're seeing the trends of things getting better or stabilizing, and that's the goals, right? Not everybody can just be instantly cured. The idea is that we want to get ahead of our condition, improve our overall health, wellness, and vitality. And so I just appreciate both of you, Kim and Susie, for joining us here today on this wonderful journey on continuation the food is medicine in Cleveland to the community as medicine here in Cleveland, Ohio. We'll be back after this short messages from our sponsors, and we'll continue talking to more thrivers here. Stay tuned.
Thanks.
All right, you're clear.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, we're on Facebook Live, and we are going to bring in some more people. Thank you all for joining us. Hopefully you just heard, Kim Hansen, you heard Susie out there in New York, you heard Chris Warwick, a great friend of ours. All these people have just really big hearts and minds. They've all gone through good times and bad times. They've all kind of walked against the grain, found their own path because we had a community here to help support them, and looking at, hey, we follow evidence-based medicine. We're looking at what's the studies, what's the data show, how do we track and follow those benefits? How do we integrate? It's not being alternative. It's not just jumping into conventional with the blinders on. It's looking at how do we improve the outcome, body, mind, and spirit. And that's what we're here to do. So thank you for joining us. Please share this to everyone and anyone out there. And then I'm going to unmute Denise and Lovey so they will be on. And here we go. All right, so everybody just continue on here. Again, thanks to our sponsors for sponsoring the show, purebetaglucan.com. Also, for those who want to look at the strongest, most clinically effective natural anti-inflammatory, go to bosmeric, bosmeric.com and find out more about that natural supplement. Curcumin, C3 complex, boswell MPS, bioprene, and gingerols, and a bilayered sustainable release caplet. All right, now we're going to be coming soon back. We're going to be talking to our local favorite people here in Cleveland, Nick and Krim. So, Maureen, you want to say anything to everybody out there on Facebook?
Hi, everybody out there in Facebook world. Thank you for joining us. Listen up. Make sure that you
Coming back.
write down those addresses so that you can get in touch with other people. Livestrong.com.
You are tuned in to Take Back Your Health. To reach our program today, call 1-866-472-5792. That's 1-866-472-5792. Or by email to radio@sanjevani.net. That's radio@sanjevani.net. Now, let's return to Take Back Your Health.
Okay, we're coming back with some great stories, inspiration of cancer healing. It takes a village, and we're going to be speaking to our favorite people here in Cleveland. They opened up their wonderful, I call it a houseboat. It actually is designed to look like a boat. Pretty impressive. If you ever see it, it'll probably be on some TV show one day. Every room is detailed. I can't explain it. There'll have to be a whole show just on how amazing this house is.
Absolutely.
Okay? But two people I want to introduce you to is Nick and Krim. And I want you to just real quick tell us your story and how, we're talking about the community support. It takes a village. Was there a village for you guys? And how did you create your own village?
Well, we're going on our 5-year anniversary coming up the 16th of July. And in the beginning, we were just more or less thrown out to the wolves. We had nobody that really understood the route that we wanted to take. And the first person that Krim came across was Chris on the internet. And she read the Susan Summers book, which helped her understand the route that Susan Summers took, and just helped us get more and more involved in trying to find other people that wanted to understand the route that we were going to take. I'm going to turn this over to Krim because she's a lot better doing this than I am.
Okay, so Krim is Nick's wife, and she basically kind of took the lead. Welcome, Krim, and explain. Did you have any support? Were you just out in the darkness of like, hey, we decided to say no to conventional. We wanted to give. There was a little bit of time and a pause and a break. I know in your story, and you said, hey, let's explore what else can we do ourselves to help put him, Nick, in a better place.
Yes, thank you. We were completely alone. And some of the people closest to us just, disappeared. And the more I researched, the better I felt. The more educated I got, the better I felt. And so I just dove deep, and I was nonstop research, reading, watching videos. I've probably spent days on Chris's site. And I felt better and better and better and more positive and more hopeful. And I was still very, we were still just lost still because we didn't have any real people with us. And we connected with local people after about a year or two, even, I think, 2 years. Yeah, it was 2 years later that we actually found some real friends locally. And then
a group also. Do you have a Live Strong group?
Healing Strong? No, I don't have. We're not in Healing Strong, but we just created our own. Actually, a friend of ours did, and then she kind of handed it to us. So we do a once a month support for anybody that wants to, even for prevention, go down this route. And we just talk, and it's 2 hours once a month, and anybody can come, and it's all free, and we don't.
All right. So anybody in the Cleveland area, just look at the bottom of the links at the bottom of this Facebook Live post, and also, or they can contact us at VoiceAmerica on Sanjevani.net or radio@sanjevani.net, and we'll be able to provide you some information on that by email as well. So how did you then? Now, how do you feel? I mean, obviously we had all these people come in Costa Rica to visit your house, and it was just like, hey, we're back.
How do I feel now?
Yes.
Wow. I feel overwhelmed with love and joy and just pride and you name it.
Right.
Opening up our home to all of you is just been just incredible. I mean, I don't even have the words.
And to let you know how hardcore Krim is at helping her husband, she's tracked everything from his blood. He's got Waldenstrom's macroglobulinemia, and from the dietary changes and adding certain things into their diet. I mean, they've tracked it, and there's been such an improvement in his response. And so, we're still going for even more improvements. But the idea is that when they tried something, they actually tested and said, did it work or not? And so they're able to actually demonstrate in his case, these are the changes, and this is the blood levels getting better. So I really appreciate you taking that effort, going outside of, like, how do I get labs done, learning. I mean, you probably know more than most doctors do about Nick's condition, but I really appreciate that tenacity. And now here, where as a group, we all can provide support of what we've learned, what we've researched, and our own experiences for everybody to gain from.
Yep.
All right, and then we have Denise. So let me get Denise on the line here. Denise.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right.
So did you have a village or did you not have a village when you started your journey? I know you have a bus that you're making.
I do. It's
the
right.
Magic bus, as I call it.
My situation is a little different because I was diagnosed December 7th of 2015, and for the first 4 months, I didn't tell my family.
Wow.
I was scared because I didn't want certain situations to get worse than what they currently already were. So I decided not to tell my family or my friends until the point where it got too obvious that I was sick, that I just ended up telling them. And I had immediate support. I had, and I might get a little choked up here, but I had all the support in the world at first. My sister is the one that really found Chris for me. And then they just all disappeared. Not my sister, but there's certain people that just disappeared. So I had so much support at first. And then they all dwindled away. And I have a few that are stuck around. And I've kind of been on my own, really, other than my immediate family. And social media and you guys, honestly, have kept me going. Social media is a good thing for me, but it's also a bad thing for me because I truly believe that if I didn't post to social media, there'd be certain people in my life that wouldn't know how I was doing.
Sure.
So if I had any advice to give to anybody that was watching live, call to say that you care, text to say that you care, reach out to that person, even if you don't know what to say. If you ask anybody that really knows me, my life really changed 360 degrees, like 4 times. If you asked me 4 years ago to try something natural, I probably would have laughed at you. So I'm a completely different person for the better. I'm doing very well. I have separated myself from a lot of negative stuff or people that I know would just bring me down. But I have the support that I need to get through it. And I think don't ask for it. I'll never ask somebody for help, and that's just who I am.
Okay, so but now that we have the social media, which is helpful, you're right. We have to kind of be discerning, even in social media, who we're letting in and who we're not letting in, and really start to focus in on those people who are really going to be supportive of you. And again, for those who are listening, if you know someone who has cancer, just let them know that you care. You don't have to give them any advice if you don't know what to do, or if you feel uncomfortable. Just say, "I love you. I support you. I'm just always praying for you or thinking of you." Maybe they can help you with some daily chores or daily activities if you're incapable of, or you just need some financial support, help pay a bill or something like that. That itself is helpful. They don't have to be like, oh, we'll have to research something for your cancer. So again, what you can do to help everybody is unique.
Praying for you too. That is so empowering, just to know people are out there holding the space and love for you. Wow, it's incredible.
Yeah, my family's been great. Like my sister changed her whole family's routine similar to mine to show that she supports me, and she's been there for me, my dad, my mom. So I think you just got to be present, not just pop in like randomly or all at once and then just disappear. Because an ongoing thing for me. I'm still climbing up that hill. So
we all are. And can you quickly tell us about the project that you have going on at the moment?
Yeah. So regarding stress, I decided that I couldn't afford my house that I was living in. That was too big for me and my dogs anyway. So I decided to sell everything I own and build a school bus, convert it into a mobile home and just travel. And I'm heading to you guys.
And it's pretty impressive because she's taken pictures and put it throughout social media. And for those who are listening, like you can just imagine like this yellow school bus, like it's like one of those shows you see on television. They transform something and you're like, what? How did they do that? It's just quite amazing. And I just every time I see it, I'm like, again, I don't even know how to change a tire, so I'm like, wow, this is really impressive how to convert a school bus into a mobile home. And it's really nice, by the way,
Give myself a plug. It's at the schoolie on Instagram. If you guys want to see the beginning to the
please go ahead.
Please. At the schoolie, yeah. And aside from traveling and living in it, are you planning to do something educational with it as well?
I am. My plan is to bring awareness to everything that's going on in my life, and if I can help anybody along the way. I've had tons of people reach out to me and ask me what my diet is and how I manage my day-to-day activities.
So for those who are listening and who are at least somewhere where her mobile home can go, she might be coming through your town sometime, be an inspiration. This is like a drive-by community here that we're talking about. So that's a good type of drive-by to have.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. I'm willing to help anybody that needs the help. I'm going to be mobile. So
good. We're looking forward to seeing you in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yes.
And I think what everybody needs to remember is that just because we have, say cancer or some kind of chronic disease, doesn't mean that we can't help heal other people as well and be an inspiration. And I think part of our healing is being in service to other people. And that's what I like to do every day. I think that's what everybody here in this team of Food is Medicine and the community is medicine thrivers are, is like we're here to help other people because that also makes us feel good. And it also helps our immune system, helps us, keeps us strong, keeps our faith in the ability of community helping everyone heal.
And I love that term, thrivers. We are. We're all thriving, every single one of us. Look how everyone is glowing. Look how beautiful they look.
I know. So for those who are just listening, everybody's got beautiful skin. And I got a dark tan here in Cleveland because we were just out here. I didn't know that there was such a big lake. They said, these are great lakes and these big lakes. It's like an ocean. I'm from New Mexico. What do I know? I'm like, oh my God, I can't even see the end of the water. That's how beautiful it is here. There's boats and people swimming. And it's for those who've never been to Cleveland, I'd say, come out here. I've never been to Cleveland. Go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and then look up Nick and Crim and see if there's like one of these billion rooms that they have in their school. They'll rent one to you, right? There you go. I'm going to promote your houseboat for rental soon. You got a whole new business coming in here.
A retreat in a community of your own, they'll help you. They know how to do it.
All right, folks. So stay tuned. We have a few more thrivers to wrap up this show and words of inspiration. And again, we want to thank Chris and everybody else who've been around to join us earlier on the call. Stay tuned next week. We're going to have Chris work as a full interview guest. And we'll be back after these short messages from our sponsors.
All right, you're clear.
All right, everybody, here we're on Facebook Live. Thank you very much for joining us. It has just been such a wonderful show. I'm actually getting a little bit emotional in the inside here, so hopefully I didn't want to cry on the screen because it's just hearing everybody and seeing everybody. It's like the Brady Bunch, one of these little squares on the screen. It makes me so happy because it's been a journey. Some of it's been really tough, and to hear everybody's story, from breast cancer, invasive ductal carcinoma, follicular lymphomas, lung cancers, leukemias. We've had colon cancer, prostate cancer, brain tumors. These are all people. They're all family members, and they're all, men, women, children, grandpas, grandparents, everybody that's someone.
I think for all of us, cancer took us from a very lonely place to a new opportunity. Cancer for me has been an amazing opportunity to look very deeply inside and to look at, my surroundings and what I'm doing in this life. So it can be an amazing opportunity, not just a death sentence.
And for those who are new to watching this Facebook Live post, please go to sanjevani.net, sanjevani.net. And we have the link there to our YouTube channel, and you can listen to the click on voiceamerica.com. You can go to the Health and Wellness channel, Take Back Your Health, with Dr. Pi Maureen Sutton. And you can listen to all the archives, or you can watch it on our website. We have all the videos. So if you want to see these interviews live and watch them rather than listening to them or downloading them for free on iTunes, you can. It's many episodes every week, every Monday. We have
Coming back.
Wonderful guests and information to help empower you to take back your health.
You are tuned in to Take Back Your Health. To reach our program today, call 1-866-472-5792. That's 1-866-472-5792. Or by email to radio@sanjevani.net. That's radio@sanjevani.net. Now, let's return to Take Back Your Health.
What a great show this has been so far. And I'm getting some kind of feedback here.
Getting feedback from Facebook.
All right. So anybody, I don't know how to turn this off.
Might be Lovey.
Yeah, it's probably Lovey. So I'm going to, yeah, it is.
Oh, there we go.
So we were getting feedback from her. So anyways, we're going to go right now. Let's see if we can get, let's see, Lovey. Is Lovey on? Let me see if we can get Lovey back on. No, she's got them. All right, everybody. Well, we're going to have to just pause her for now because there's a delay. She's traveling right now in a car. So let's talk to Theo. Hey, Theo.
Oh, we don't have you yet.
Theo.
This is my first time on radio, so I was on mute.
All right. All right, Theo. You know, Theo's been one of the masterminds with his wife, Kim, and we're part of the group in Costa Rica. And just kind of share your feeling what we had this weekend, because I think, you know, since we can't get Lovey on board, I just want you guys to talk a little bit about how it's been for you. And what we've designed was a program and now a community, and I think it's going to continue to grow thanks with the help of Chris and each person who came, and each person who came in spirit has been great in supporting this concept of food is medicine and now community is medicine.
Yeah, I love how you just said that. 2015, you know, Kim had we just finished 2014, this big win, and I met you in 2015 at the same day that I got to meet Chris Wark as well. And it's so funny how a small series of meetings become these long-term friendships. And then I got to meet Maureen in 2016, which I would have loved that for to be 2015 because she's one of my little love bugs. But getting to know you guys has been fun. But what was so interesting is in 2016, we started talking about that we could do cancer better. And then I remember this inspiration and I said, hey, would you be willing to do an event in Costa Rica? And without hesitation, you and Maureen said yes. And then we asked Chris, without hesitation, he said yes. And then a bunch of us got to do this. So a year later, to still have all of this sort of family come together. So we called it the Fam Reunion, being food is medicine. But it's so powerful that it ends up being that community is actually is equal or better than that medicine. So we're taking two medicines that are synergistic, right? We're taking food and community. So yeah, it's exciting to be here. I'm so thankful to both Nick and Krim for opening their home up. As a team, we all got to vote as to where we might, what part of the world we might hold it in. And I was like, hey, you want to do San Diego or Cleveland? And I was like, yeah, we're in San Diego. Let's do Cleveland. Click. That was my vote. And I'm so glad that that was my vote because we've had an absolute ball here. And I want to express my appreciation for them, but also for you, Sunil, and for you, Maureen, for the way you guys show up in the world, because you didn't hesitate to come out to Cleveland to continue this family.
And to let you know what everybody's like, when we say community, it's like we're staying in this wonderful home. Okay, it's actually a big home again. cool themes and everything, but like going to the vegetable stand, organic foods, everybody bringing in, we have like, dozen people sitting around the kitchen all day, we're chopping vegetables, we're juicing, we're just talking and snacking and making beverages and sitting outside in the sun, going to the beach, just sharing, being together is great. Maureen made a wonderful paella. For those people who haven't want to go to Facebook and look at the beautiful paella that she made yesterday, phenomenal, right? And we shared the recipe. So millions of people can now eat this wonderful paella that we were able to have here. And that's part of what I think people miss. Is like a lot of people feel like, I got cancer, I'm by myself. What am I going to do? I'm the only one. And it's like one in 3 women, 1 in 2 men will have cancer in a lifetime. So it takes a village. Now there's going to be villages of people with cancer, but how do we make that village positive and uplifting and having better outcomes?
Join us. Come and join us in the community.
And I'm disappointed we couldn't get Lovey and Hilda on because they're also part of this great family. And I remember Lovey and her husband Dan. And Dan, if you ever need somebody to
wait, I think we
they're
might
back.
be able to get them. We'll get back in. Okay,
Yes.
hold on. Let's pull them in there. Lovey, can you hear us?
We're getting the feedback.
We're getting feedback. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Hi, Lovey.
Yeah, so we had to pull them off. I'm sorry. We'll have to do that later.
The delay.
All right. Well, everyone, anyways, we'll continue on with this. We had this one, there was 2 wonderful people that were driving actually. That's how connected we are. We're gonna try to connect, but unfortunately, cell phone coverage is not as good as everywhere else in the world. It was Lovey and Hilda with lung cancer and breast cancer, and wonderful people, wonderful husbands too. I mean, everybody has this wonderful spouse that sometimes we never get to meet or talk to, and it's great to reconnect with them and see their support. And again, everybody has a story of like, I was by myself, and now we share our stories, we share new data, we share our successes as well as our failures, and then look at how we can pick each other up and continue moving forward. So let's see, Maureen, what words of wisdom do you want to tell our listeners?
My words of wisdom: find a community that you can connect with. That's what it's all about. This is the medicine. It really is. We use food as medicine, and we use data as medicine, and we use supplements as medicine. But, having a community where we're all sharing all of these things and finding the best of the best for ourselves and for each other, this is it.
Susie, words of wisdom for the listeners.
It's too hard to go the long road alone, and you need to find ways to connect. It might be virtually, socially, or it might be through one of these groups, some way that it works. I think for us, many of us have in this group, Food is Medicine, but Chris's Square One group has been amazing to me. It's been difficult to find other people in person for me, but yeah, if you're in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to find some connect in my patio and do a veggie potluck.
Awesome. All right. Now, what about Denise? Words of wisdom.
I don't give up. Do the things you dream of now. I would give anyone advice is take it from me, somebody who is stubborn as heck. Make the changes, whether they're small changes or anything, make them now before it's too late.
Awesome. Yeah. Everybody, we don't have to wait till you have cancer to live your life. Be in the present, spend time with family and friends, enjoy every minute that you're here on this planet. And don't think about what I'm going to be doing tomorrow or what I did yesterday. Think about what am I doing now. Right now, after this show is finished, we're going to spend a wonderful evening with the rest of the people here on this Food is Medicine retreat. So I just want to thank everybody for showing up. I know that Lovey and Hilda, unfortunately, we didn't get you on today. The reception is just not good. Everybody, I just want to thank everybody who came to the Food is Medicine retreat. I want to thank Nick and Krim for the wonderful, wonderful hospitality. It will always be a wonderful memory of mine. In fact, we're going to probably come out here and do many, many more Food is Medicine gatherings in this area of Cleveland. I'll probably also go more to the Rock and Roll Museum too, to jam out a little bit. So everybody, please tune in. If you Cleveland rocks. If
I
you
want to see pictures.
Yeah, there you go. If you want to go to sanjevani.net, sanjevani.net, and sign up for our newsletter, please sign up so we can stay in touch, and let you know about information on events and special programs and discounts on some of the things that we have to offer that are evidence-based. Any last words of wisdom for everybody just before we go?
I got one. Love wins.
Love
wins. Yes.
Yeah,
Love conquers all. All you need is love. Right? John Lennon.
Yeah, I want to just say, like Sunil was saying, thrive. Don't just survive, thrive. Make sure that you get out there and you find your tribe. And because he just gave the stats, so you're probably going to need to be there for somebody that it was just newly diagnosed with cancer.
All right, everybody, the show is over, but we're going to be here on Facebook Live. So we're continuing now on Facebook Live. Thanks, everyone, for listening to the show on Voice America. Now we have a few more minutes. So if anybody wants to answer any questions or ask any questions, feel free to go to the Facebook page. I can't read it, so if you can pull it up, I don't know how to do that.
No, I tried to do it. Look at Lovey.
I know. I feel so sorry because it just didn't happen. This reception was giving echo, and it was too slow of
Do you think you can get her now on Facebook Live?
Let me see if I can. Let me see here. Let me see if I can unmute her.
No.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
I don't know what we've got there.
It's like a coffee cup or something.
Oh.
All right, guys. What did you think? I think it was a great show.
Thank you so much.
And thanks, everybody, for listening on Facebook. We're still on Facebook Live. So, again, go to sanjevani.net, go to purebetaglucan.com, go to thevitaprotocol.com. If you're in Cleveland, look up Nick and Krim. and there's a local community group here that you can join. I'm all for that. And if you're anywhere driving around this magical bus that's coming through your area, and then Denise just say, "Hey, there's a bus there." Yeah. Denise might be on it. Yeah.
Somebody on on Facebook asked what the diet was exactly. Is it just vegan? I'm just reading off the thing.
Yeah, we're whole foods plant-based diet. So we want to make sure that we're evidence-based and what the data will show, which they can go back and listen to all the other episodes. We have shows just talking about the anti-inflammatory diet, right? We need high amount of fiber. That's one of the most important things, and all the data will show that fiber only comes from plant-based foods. Antioxidants, phytonutrients, and protein. You get that all in plants. So you want to be on an anti-inflammatory diet. Go back and listen to that episode for those who are having questions about what type of diet is best. Almost every episode will cover some detail. And also there's an episode that we had the review of the PPOD conference that will cover all the data specifically in one show. And then for those who want more data and something inspirational, go to aninflammationnation.com and read my book.
Yeah, and if you are looking for community, at some point we would like to come back here to Cleveland and do a nice retreat here. So, contact us at House of Sanjevani, and we'll see what we can do to put something together for you and your tribe. There's some words of wisdom from Lovey. Mm-hmm. She says, forgiveness. That's beautiful. Yeah, forgiveness is very important.
I'm going to have to be forgiveful for this internet not being strong enough and fast enough for her to be on. I really wanted to hear Lovey and Hilda. Anyways, that's how it happens.
Oh, somebody said, bring the bus to New Jersey.
I gotta go through New Jersey, so I will.
Okay, there you go.
And you got to stop by me, Denise.
I know. I have to stop by you and Carla.
Where's Chester?
And then take the shortcut to San Diego. I've got room at the top of the hill.
Oh, I'm headed there. I'm headed to the West Coast. I'm done with this New England weather.
It's a promise. I'm not able to do.
Cleveland. That's why I want to see pictures of Cleveland, because I want to know what. I wouldn't go to Cleveland if you guys didn't tell me how awesome it was.
Seriously, we had no idea what to expect. We got here, we were so pleasantly surprised. This place is great,
especially where they live here.
Created here. Wow, Krim and Nick have done this amazing thing here.
It's like oceanfront property, but a lake.
Yeah, I think actually Nick and Krim have driven the property values up by what they've done here. Because I mean, you go just a few miles in, and it's like, oh, that's Cleveland. But you come over here, and you're like, where am I? It's like literally one of the best destinations that we've gone to. We've been around the world, and we've enjoyed. I think being here. We went to the beach yesterday, and we're like, oh wait, is it a beach? Is it the shore? I'm not really sure, but I'm having a great time.
You wake up in the morning and you look out over the deck, over the bow of the deck, and you just feel like you could be anywhere in the world. You could be in the Bahamas. You could be anywhere. It's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. And I think there was a couple questions about diet that came up. You saw those kind of coming through, but guys, there's so many resources at Take Back Your Health that I think that's already been. It's really, those shows are worth going back to and just listening to that 1 hour show, and you'll walk away not confused.
And many more to come.
Yeah, we just got to always emphasize evidence-based. So don't get stuck on quick fads. Don't get stuck on keto and cancer. Don't get stuck on lectin issues. Don't get stuck on paleo again. This is just fads and trends. We want to stick with evidence, and we want to stick with people who actually see patients, not just write books and sell products. At the end of the day, you want people who are actually following you and not just selling you something. At the end of the day, you want people to say these are people who have thrived, and this is the data why we're thriving.
Yeah, which brings up a really powerful tool, you guys, and for Facebook listeners, is I heard somebody else say this, and he did a great job of it as a cancer thriver. He said, anytime someone's giving you advice, just ask yourself a couple questions about them. Did they have cancer, and/or were they responsible as a primary spouse or support or caregiver to someone who did? Did they successfully beat it, or are they successfully managing cancer? And then what's their come from? And so there's so much information. It all starts with community, but there's a ton of little opinionators, and that's not what's community. Community is actually people who will journey with you.
Yeah, and if people are giving you advice and they don't look so good, well, maybe I'd think twice about it, right?
And we're looking at outcomes. And so what we're going to talk about on next week's show with Chris is that we're coming up, we had an episode where we're going to do an evidence-based 12-week program. And we're going to actually show and demonstrate improvements of outcomes of what we've already seen clinically in our practice and with all the people here that came to FAM, who is now CAM, is that we're looking at is these are the things you need to do. You need to change the diet, you need to change the lifestyle, you need to clean up everything, and you got to look at things that support immune system, inflammation, the microbiome, and more importantly, the community is important. So if you don't have community, then find something, even if it's an online community. The rest you can do at home.
Yeah,
because you need help with the emotional and the spiritual as well, and community helps to provide that.
It really does. And just a shout out too for Chris for developing such a great, strong community around the Square One. I just can't tell you how many people share with me that the thing that they love the most about Square One was actually the strength of community that he was able to build. And that feels really good, especially considering we're having our family reunion and I'm seeing like Denise and I'm just going I wish you were here, Dee. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just nice for Chris to come. I know he's a busy guy, but everybody's important, everything is special. But it's nice when you have someone who can just culminate this much attention and focus. And with the discussions that we've had, kind of personal discussions, and the integrity that we're trying to keep with holistic healing is key. Integrity, not just selling out, not just just saying something. It's like, no, we have to have things to stand on because these are lives that are in jeopardy. These are people that we love. And I think those people who don't have the integrity or just hawking products, they have to also own up for that responsibility of that, right? And so it's like, well, no, we've learned. In fact, some of the things that we were doing a year ago slightly different now, and some things come out different in the research, and we have to modify. Maybe this supplement has better research, or maybe it's not as strong as we used to think, or maybe this part of adding this food for this disease is actually showing more of an improvement. So those people with that disease should be eating a little bit more of those kind of things. So always being flexible and not being stuck, but also being evidence-based is key.
Thank you, everybody, for being here with us. Love you all.
All right. Any last minutes? Any last words before we go off on Facebook Live? Thanks, everyone. Theo, anything?
No, I'm just super grateful.
Denise, shout out to anybody?
You guys. Shout out right back to you guys, and I'm sorry I missed it.
Susie, anybody you want to shout out to?
Well, my husband was awesome. He came with me, and my mom watched the kids, so I was able to do it. And I just
Yay, mom!
Right, Becky, she's the woman, and eat more plants.
Yes.
Keep it simple.
Yes, keep it simple. And then Nick and Krim, you get the last words because you were the hosts of this big event.
Just full of love. Love. Yep. Love and plants.
Yeah.
We love you, Krim and Nick.
Yeah, we're so appreciative from the bottom of our hearts to just be welcome in, and it has been such a journey for all of us. We just can't, and the words can't express how nice it's been to be in this house.
Words cannot express how much gratitude I have for you all, and the community and the family that we now have.
Right.
You knocked our socks off. Thank you.
We might all move in.
It's fine with me. Really is.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much on Facebook for listening to this wonderful episode. Please join us next week with Chris Wark. We're going to have a wonderful, amazing discussion on his journey, his program, and some of the clinical evidence-based programs that we might have opportunities for certain people to enroll with and actually take them through a journey and actually show improved outcomes. So until then, Maureen and I, everybody here at the Food is Medicine in Cleveland, here which Cleveland rocks, take care and best of health.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. See you soon. Bye, Susie.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, Denise. Looking forward to seeing you soon.
I'm coming.
All right.
See you later.
Thanks, everyone. See you next week.
Bye, Theo.